Hi, my name is Raleen Gagnon, Head of Market Intelligence and Strategy within TAPFIN's Global Center of Excellence. And I'm here today to talk to you about expanding globally. When we talk to our clients about global expansion, we think about the external market conditions that can impact how that strategy might look as we look at client priorities and what will best serve you and help you to meet your objectives around the world within your operations. Today, what we do, in addition to reviewing your own internal objectives and priorities, is we look at the external market under four primary buckets. First, we look at the availability of the workforce, the size of the contingent work pool that you can target and source, the amount of skilled labor that's available for you to review, and the sustainability of that workforce. So how much they may rely, for instance, on aging workers to meet your ongoing and long-term needs. Then we look at other important factors, such as cost, what the average wage might be for the workers that you're looking to engage with in a particular market, or what the taxes might be that you'll incur from engaging with those workers. We also look at other costs such as overtime, expenses, premiums, severance and notice periods. Understanding all of the costs that will go into your workforce strategy as you develop the right workforce mix and management approach to your expansion around the world can help you to prioritize and balance out your expectations around your expansion program. In addition to that, we look at the regulations, because knowing what it is that you want to achieve is best set when you understand the framework in which you're trying to achieve those objectives. So we look at regulations around when and where you can engage with contract labor, how long you can utilize those workers within your business and remain compliant with local regulations. We also look at other factors, such as parity requirements, and what sort of flexibility you have around statutory burdens or wage controls in a given country. Understanding how these regulations can impact the way an MSP program or a workforce strategy would be laid out or designed within a given country can truly change the way you would develop or deploy a solution from one region or one country to the next. In addition to that, we do look at productivity as well, because the benefits you achieve from your workforce strategies in one country may be substantially different than you'll see in another. In some markets, the average work week is 5 days, and in others it's 6. Sometimes the average workday is 7 hours and sometimes it's 9. So clearly there's an opportunity to gain additional productivity out of some types of labor contracts versus others. So as we look through the ways that we can evaluate these local market conditions, we align them to what your internal operations look like today and what your priorities and your future state is expected to be. And understanding how those two combine is the best way for us to develop the right solution for you as you expand your program outside of your existing markets. As you can see on the slide before you now, there's a number of different ways that we can show the comparison of these countries. In this view, we use the vertical axis to show the maturity of both the contingent workforce utilization and strategic workforce programs. On the vertical axis, what you see is regulatory flexibility. So up on the top of this chart, you see markets in which the labor regulations that can impact your contingent workforce engagement are relatively flexible. They will enable you to have the right length of engagement and to control many aspects of the way you contract, source, and manage your workers. On the other side, we have the bottom of this chart where regulations can be a bit more complex, where you might have to use a specific type of contract or a specific sourcing model, or utilize the workers only for a certain amount of time. And because those regulations can vary substantially from one country to the next, you need to think about not just the regulations, but the benefits that you achieve from building strategies around those regulations. And that's where the market maturity comes into play. So looking at how common it is to use contingent labor in these countries can give you a sense of how capable the suppliers are at meeting those fulfillment needs for you. And those two characteristics shown on this quadrant can help you to see how you might approach a workforce strategy or a sourcing strategy in one quadrant differently than countries that sit in another quadrant. On the right-hand side, where markets are more mature, you see additional benefits and short-term results in the top right-hand quadrant because of the capability of the supply chain, the knowledge and awareness of your own stakeholders within your organization. But on the bottom side, these markets are mature, but regulations can be complex and administratively burdensome. And so you get different benefits right away from having a workforce management program in place to help you achieve compliance. On the other side of this quadrant, you have less mature markets. So whether the regulations are flexible or whether they're rigid, you do have opportunity to set the bar and establish a new level of relationship with your supply chain. In the current human age, in the war for talent, Having the right capability to manage your suppliers and your sourcing strategy and understanding what the best approach is one of the benefits to understanding these market dynamics and developing your solution with TAPFIN that will help you to align your business strategies with these workforce conditions. And if you have any questions, we will continue to review these countries and different dynamics in more detail as our conversations progress.